Being a loser seeps into every aspect of your life, ensuring that you never get anything that you actually want out of life. In this video, I'm going to detail a couple of different ways that you can stay a loser. Number one is being a victim. One of the easiest ways to be a loser is to just complain and think that nothing that happens to you is ever your fault, right? Just never accept accountability for anything that occurs with your relationships, your finances, your career. And you do that and you'll be right on track. Now, a victim can't ever be wrong because they never made a choice. Things just happen to them. A victim would rather be pitied than respected. You see, victimhood is a sickness that we as a society have allowed to be as prevalent as it is. So if you want to stay a loser, ensure that you just continue to feed off of society's need to cater to victims. And don't ever accept that your life is actually what you made it. Option number two, be entitled. Ensure that you disregard people's thoughts, their opinions, feelings. Those things don't matter to you because you're what's most important. If you keep this sentiment, you'll situate yourself perfectly as a top tier fucking loser that people hate to be around. You see, all throughout history, we as humans, we've learned that we're stronger together rather than alone. And entitled people, they don't care about the group and they actively push the group away. Option three, be lazy. All throughout history, we as humans have learned that we're stronger together rather than alone. And lazy people don't care about the group. They would rather the group care for them than they care for the group. We need plumbers to plumb shit. We need farmers to farm crops. We need teachers to teach. And we need Waffle House workers to fight drunks. You see, we can't have half the population at home gooning to Sophie Rain all day, and the other half taking ass pics and asking for TikTok donations. Society needs productive adults. Everyone wants to talk about the horrors of the first world and of capitalism until it's time to give up their citizenship and move to the Free Democratic Republic of the Congo. You see, my first stint as a real estate investor is a good example of this. We gave a young man and his pregnant girlfriend a break. We rented them a room in our house for cheap. At the end of month one, he had no more money. Instead of evicting them, I lowered rent and allowed them to not pay for a while until they got back on track. This man had a child, a pregnant girlfriend, a $50 car with $10 bald tires and no hubcaps. And here I am, slaving away at work to provide the life I now have as I record this. I come home one day and I tell him I have a warehouse manager I know who's willing to give him a job for $19 an hour plus tons of overtime. And here he is, sitting in my living room at my table with no job, watching a self-help course that he just bought and says no thanks, he doesn't want to work at a warehouse. This blew my mind because here he sits with nothing, with dependents counting on him, with no options, and yet is entitled enough to tell me that he won't take the job. We got them up out of there before things escalated, but it just goes to show how deep this loser shit goes in people's bones. These days, there's a big push to be an optimizer. You're a failure if you don't have a career, 2 side businesses. Now, I don't subscribe to that. However, if you have the ability to do and instead choose to do nothing, then you're not in service of the wider group. Being lazy is a life fuel for losers. Why do when you could just not try? Not trying allows you to never fail, and oftentimes, never failing helps you to never improve. One of the most impactful core memories in life that fuels me to this day is when I was in line to be promoted to sergeant in the Marine Corps. Going to this school was a condition we had to meet. I looked at the course as a check in the box and wasn't very concerned because I knew all that I had done to make me deserving of the promotion. While I was given some medicine best served cold at the end of the schooling, we had peer reviews needing to take place, and the gentleman randomly chosen to review me said the following.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm disappointed. You should have been more. You have everything you needed to have to be a leader here, yet you chose to do less and float by.
Now in Marine Corps land, that's shoveling medicine down my throat with a snowball. A peer telling me how disappointing it is to see me choose to be lazy choose to skate and not give maximum effort? What would that attitude have translated to on the battlefield? What would that bring to my unit if I just didn't take pride in the charge of leadership for those under me? That unlocked something in me because it went bar for bar with a proverb that I live by now. How you do anything is how you do everything. That one moment was enough to help me go nuclear. I was able to see I had the ability for a large amount of output. And just because I can skate by and have solid results isn't the question. The question really was, how great could I be if I actually gave maximum effort? Option 4, think negatively. If you can never see the good in people or in anything, then you're on the right path. Losers love to think that nothing matters, so why bother? Why work hard so you can support a family if wage growth isn't beating inflation? Why try to find love since so many people think relationships are transactional? Why learn new skills since the job market's cooked anyways? If you never look at the upside and only look to considering the downsides, perfect. You'll stay a fucking loser. There are many people that were very close to me all throughout my life that I'm no longer even speaking to because they wanted to be losers and I didn't. The signs were always there and I never knew better, so I never really analyzed it. But once I went to the Marine Corps, it was the first time I was held to a higher standard. The line of accountability was clear to me. The respect I had for myself and for others really helped me, in multiple different areas. I was able to see where I was needing change, see where I needed to improve in order to be who it was that I actually wanted to be. Along the way, many people in my life showed me that they don't fit with who it was I was becoming. And in order for me to evolve, I needed to shed those old ways. You can't have everything in life, but the results will speak for themselves. Remember, the race doesn't have to be a sprint. For me, the last 6 years, I've placed all my life points on career, self-awareness, and relationships. This was important to me because I wanted to be able to provide a quality life for a family that I aim to grow. However, what was lost along the way? I put no points on health, on personal interests, on creative expression. I've been a loser for going life, health, for money. We all have things that we can improve on. This video acts as my pledge to limit shoveling pie down my gullet. I want to get in the gym. I want to improve my health. And I also want to keep making these videos that help to feed my life force and my creative expression. In the comments down below, let me know some areas that you all are looking to improve. See you all on the next one.